Alright, you guys, what is up going on? Yeah, so I accidentally skipped a day, which was not on purpose at all. I thought that I posted a video on Sunday, but I actually posted a video on Saturday. So I've skipped 3 days instead of two. My original plan was that I thought I posted a video on Sunday, and I was going to post another video today, which would be when you're watching this, but I made a mistake in which day I posted videos. So yeah, that's why I haven't posted in like 3 days or whatever. So anyway, this video is just going to be kind of a little bit longer version of an update video. It's going to be, a couple of different things that are going to happen in this year and next year. And it's going to be just kind of an all over the place video. So as you guys know, I talked about doing a thing where I send out lures to people. The baits for tactical bassin are actually going to get there. If the post people are right. Lately, they have not been giving us our packages and just not doing what they're supposed to do. Stuff from eBay says it's out for delivery, and we don't get it till 2 days later because they don't want to give it to us. They say that it's out for delivery, and it's not. I don't know what the post office is doing, but they said that the package with the two baits for tactical bassin will be over there in California on Friday. So today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's on. I'm pretty sure today is Wednesday, which would be Thursday when you're watching this. But here is the bait that I'm going to give Kendall Gray. I got it all finished. It's got a hook and a line tie. Then I got this here. This here is going to be a project for myself. This here is a 7-inch topwater walking bait. This thing is going to be big. This thing is going to be bulky. This thing is going to be just something that is more of a challenge bait or a big fish bait. But yeah, that there is something that I'm going to make as well. Then I've made a bunch of worms. Not really going to show you the specific worms because I got too many of them to show you. But I got all these worms that I molded. I got some red ones that I made out of some red colored worms. That there's one of them. I got kind of a cross colored worm. It's got some brown in the head. And then some white down on the tail. Got some white chartreuse. That's a pretty cool looking worm. Then I got all that. And another thing that I'm going to do is this week, at some point, I'm thinking about making buying a what's that noise? I swear I keep hearing something walking around. I don't know. But anyway, I'm thinking about buying a new lure mold, possibly a swim bait or a fluke mold for the plastic. I'm kind of getting sick of making the exact same worms every day. So I'm thinking about possibly making some flukes or swim baits or something like that. So that's going to happen. Then next week, not this week, but next week, I'm actually going to buy a Huddleston possibly. Don't know which one. It's kind of a toss-up between the 68 size and the 8-inch size. I don't know which one I'm going to get, but I do want to get one of them. Then, far into the future, I'm looking far into the future for this. This is a trip that I want to take in May of 2018. I'm actually going to start saving up for it in January. So that tells you there it's going to be a pretty big trip if I'm starting saving like 4 months prior. But I'm actually wanting to go down to Tennessee, which honestly is not super far away from where I'm at. But what I'm wanting to do is going to be a little bit on the more pricey side. Obviously, it's going to be a fishing trip because it's going to be happening in May. There ain't no hunting seasons in May, and I don't really want to take a hunting trip anyway. It's going to be a fishing trip down to Lake Chickamauga down in Tennessee. It is the place where the Tennessee state record largemouth bass came out of at 15 pounds 3 ounces, if I done my research correctly. That's a big fish, and it only happened a couple years ago, which is not really long compared to what some other state records, the time zones of them state records happened. So yeah, it's going to be a big trip, and I could catch some big fish on it. and I'm going to start saving up in January. And I'd already done like the add up and everything. I'm going to buy some big stuff before January starts. You know, if I get any money from Christmas, I'm going to. I know for a fact that next week I'm going to buy a Huddleston. I've already made that plan, and next week I'm going to go on eBay and buy a Huddleston. And so yeah, I'm going to buy a Huddleston. Don't know what size, but I want at least one Huddleston. And I'm also going to buy a couple other baits, you know, if I don't get them for Christmas, because I actually made like this big list for my mom to pick from on eBay to where she could buy some stuff for Christmas. You know, that was my eBay Christmas list, you know. And I actually have that list over in my room, so I think the next video is going to be me talking about that list and showing you guys what exactly I was wanting to get for the trip and for just other fishing trip. So yeah, that's going to be a big trip that I'm really excited to take. You know, I'm hoping that I can go down there at the end of May when the shad spawn starts. That way I can catch giant fish, you know, relatively power fishing is what I want to do. You know, I want to go down there. I don't want to go all the way down there and then be stuck throwing a shaky head on a little spinning rod with 8-pound test line. You know, I don't want to do that. I want to go down there when I can throw crankbaits, spinnerbaits, frogs, topwater. What else? I'm trying to think of a different bait. Swim baits. Swim baits is something I really want to go down there and throw. Topwater, obviously. Topwater, I'm going to throw topwater, especially at that time of year. But I want to go down there during the shad spawn. Which brings me to this thing. Now, a couple years ago, I actually bought this thing. And I gave it to my dad because I could not figure out how to work it. Well, he figured out how to work it, and he has recently taught me how to work it. This is a bait casting rod and reel combo. Now, bait casting rod and reel combo is something that has always bothered me because everybody throws them, but I just never really learned how to use them. But I've learned how to use them pretty well. I've got this one dialed in pretty good. This one here is my frogging rod, my new frogging rod with a bait casting rod and reel. It's a Shakespeare Alpha bait casting rod and reel. It's got 50-pound spider wire braid on it. So yeah, and the frog that I've got tied on it right now is that shad thing. It's got some stuff on it. It's that shad thing from Tackle Warehouse. So yeah, I'm going to buy, I'm thinking about getting a different one, possibly for big swim baits, but I don't know. Let me check the time real quick. Okay, it's only 8 minutes. Heck, I got enough time to talk a little bit more. But yeah, so that's what's going to happen in the future, in the next coming days. Saturday, I've been doing this thing for a while where I post a video at like 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't think I'm going to get to do that this weekend because I'm actually, I've planned on doing this kind of a, not really a like out of state or taking a big trip hunt, but it is kind of a big hunt from what I've normally done this year. It's actually not going far at all. It's actually going across the road, but it is going to be a big spot and stalk style hunt where I'm going to go over to where I first started deer hunting, where I killed my first deer ever. And I'm thinking about making like a short video over there, possibly, of showing you guys maybe where it is, or possibly videoing some deer maybe. I'm going to bring my hat to where I can have my camera mount on it, to where I can possibly do a hunt on video maybe. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm probably not going to be able to post early in the morning like I normally do, but I'm going to try to get at least a small video in at some point. But yeah, I'm going to go back to where it all started, where I first started deer hunting, where I killed my first deer, where I killed my first buck. Actually, it's the same spot where I killed not only the first deer, but also the first buck. I'm going back to where it all happened, where it all started. You know, last year I seen 4 big bucks over there. I seen one that was possibly 180s, you know, just as big as the one that I was telling you guys about a while back. You know, I don't know if it was the same deer. There's quite a ways apart, but you know, it was the rut, so it might have been. But I know that for a fact there's big bucks over there. I remember back when, like 6-7 years ago, when I was hunting one time with my dad, and another time when I was hunting with my uncle, we were sitting in the ground blind. You know, all of a sudden my dad taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, big buck. And he said it so many times, I was like, oh God, it must be giant. But it didn't come in, and I never got to see it. And for my dad, who has shot 179-inch deer, and like I think it was 100 and almost 70-inch deer, he shot big bucks before. And for him to say it's big, it has to be big. You know, he's seen some giant bucks. The biggest buck he ever seen in his life was right over there, and he said that it was the biggest, massivest 8-pointer he's ever seen, whether it was on the internet or in real life. And he said that nobody around here ever got to kill that deer, because if they did, we'd hear about it. It was that big. I mean, it was big enough. He said it was big enough that it whooped a probably 180-inch deer's butt. I mean, it was that big. It was big. And there's some big deer over there. Last year, after I already tagged out buck tags, I seen 2 160s class bucks over there. A week before I tagged out, I seen a 170 size buck that ran away from me that I didn't get a shot at. I've seen countless 140s. I almost got ran over by a 140 over there last year. So I'm going back over there. First time this year I've been over there. So hopefully I'll kill one. So thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. See you later.